been murdered. All the friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And the bird said nevermore.
You're listening to the Call Podcast with Brandon and Josh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of The Call. It is a Baltimore Ravens podcast where we talk anything and everything Baltimore Ravens football. Thank you all for listening to us on Stitcher, TuneIn, Player.fm, Overcast.
They still butchered it. Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's week one, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're in unison.
You're like, oh, I said Overcast. You're like, over. You like draw it out again. What was the rest of the bit?
I want to see how long
where
go.
can they catch us?
I don't tell.
After Overcast, where can folks catch us? And then we'll get on with it.
Google Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I love giving you a hard time about that. Like it used to be seamless. Now it's like Overcast. Like it's like you're waiting for me. I'm waiting. I just say Overcast. Like I slow it down.
I gotta take a breath.
It's like you're waiting for me. Like over. I can hear you trailing me. Come on, got to follow the lead.
I got to take a breath. I got to prepare myself.
Oh my God.
That's what I got to do. And I want to keep extending it and see how long we can go.
It is overcast today. It's rainy.
No, it's nasty looking out.
You could have gotten practice all day saying overcast. You're going to do the whiteboard. I will say overcast. I will say over. All right, enough of that.
Hey,
week one, man.
It's week one.
Week one.
Week one. Welcome to the NFL regular season. It is the Baltimore Ravens. It is the New York Jets. Week one on September 11th in New York, New Jersey, technically, if you're going to be serious about that, at that stadium.
Like Washington's essentially Landover, Maryland, so it's the Maryland
That's right.
Commanders, right?
No, we're not
Landover
taking
Commanders.
responsibility for that crappy team.
That's right. We don't clean them.
We don't want those.
Keep them in D.C.
So let's press conference. We're recording this on Wednesday the 7th. I'm not sure when this will be out, but here's what we know, at least about Lamar's contract status. We'll just start off the show. Nothing new to report. Lamar pretty much said Friday is the deadline. He did not give in this press conference on Wednesday any inclination of which way it's leaning, if it's going to get done, if it's not going to get done, how close, how far, nothing like that. He just said if it's not done by Friday, then we're not talking about it to the end of the season. So that's that. And you could kind of tell, I think it was Harbaugh was the one that was getting a little upset off camera. It was like, are we going to talk about the Jets game? Well, I think this is it for contract talk. Let's move on. So I think Harbaugh and Lamar and everybody else is as sick of hearing about this contract talk as we are. So we'll just leave it at that. As of right now, as of this recording, Lamar is not signed to a new contract. We don't have any specifications of like that, but Friday is the deadline. Now, the other thing I picked up in this press conference is somebody said, how's it going to feel, Lamar, going up against Joe Flacco? And I loved what Lamar said, because I'm guilty of this as well. I said, it's Lamar versus Joe. It's Lamar versus Joe. It's our Super Bowl quarterback against Lamar, the guy who wants to get to a Super Bowl with the Ravens. And Lamar just said, I'm not up against Joe Flacco. I'm up against the Jets defense.
My man, best answer. I say that all the time. I think somebody else said that when it was like Brady versus Manning or Mahomes versus Allen. One of the quarterbacks said the same thing, kind of echoed it like, I don't play against them. Like, we get it, right? Did we say that because they lead each other's offense? Offense scores the points, wins the games. Obviously, defense stops them. That's why we always say the Brady versus Manning, Allen versus Mahomes, Lamar versus Mahomes, Lamar versus Flacco, Flacco versus everybody else. I don't know. So it's fun to talk about. We get it why. The official answer is he's right. Does not play against Joe, thank gosh. Yeah, I'm excited, man. May all the fantasy madness begin this week and for the next 14-plus weeks and for the next 18 weeks with bye weeks included. We're in an NFL fight for the playoff push. So week one in New York, man, it's going to be fun. I, myself, along with a lot of Ravens flock, going to be attending. I know some of the folks in my section 517, up there in the perch, as they call it, up there in the upper levels of the bank. They got a group chat. They're all going up. I'll be going up as well, doing the Jimmy's tailgate on the road. It's It's going to be great. Jimmy's Famous Seafood Road Edition. One of the many, I'm sure, this year I'll be for the tailgates. Wow, I can't wait to break it all down. But we did get the word officially today. The Jets said Wilson will not be ready for week 1. Actually, Zach Wilson might not be ready for the first 4 weeks, or at least a week 4, I heard, for the Jets. So New York's going to get 3 weeks at least with Joe Flacco under center, which is great. I wish him well in the next 2 games, but not this game. Right now, he's the enemy. He's in green. The Ravens are in purple and black for a reason. He's not. Funny question, because I'll be attending the game, and a lot of folks are like, are you going to boo or cheer Joe Flacco if he runs out of tunnel? I'm going to cheer for him, of course, man. I mean, look, I got his signature on my wall, Super Bowl 47 MVP. I met the guy multiple times. Dude, need to say more Joe Flacco. The name just is synonymous with Baltimore sports. You have to put him in the conversation. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, Joe, great. When a whistle starts, I shared it on social media earlier. You're the enemy, bro. For that 4 quarters, same thing. Ravens, John Harbaugh exchanged pleasantries, but it's no different, man. It's no different than, all these former foes facing their old teams. Look at what, Favre had to do it with Minnesota. Brady had to do it against New England. And recently this year is going to be the storyline in week 1. There's 3 storylines with former quarterbacks, albeit the next 2 are more recent because of they changed teams this year, where Browns play the Panthers in week 1, which is Baker Mayfield's new team. Obviously, he plays the Browns. And then the Monday night cap off in week 1, we have Russell Wilson visiting Seattle after, of course, he just got moved to a new team after this offseason. So this is the 3rd installment of 2 quarterbacks, or a former quarterback facing his old team. But obviously with Joe, it's years later, 4 years later than the Pike, we should say. But still, it's fun for us, right? Because it's the first time in team history that Flacco is facing his former team since leaving. He is still employed by the league, which is great. Good to see him there. But be as it may, everybody was like, let's set the record straight. Joe Flacco did some great things here in Baltimore, but he's a backup quarterback. If Zach Wilson was healthy, he would not sniff the field. So let's get that out there. For all those anti-Lamar people, anti-Ravens, Steeler fans out there, anybody who's rooting against the Ravens, Joe Flacco is going to light them up. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. Joe's still Joe, and he's got an arm. We get it, but backup. If Wilson was healthy, he would be benched. So let's get that straight. The Ravens are actually technically facing a backup quarterback on Sunday. Call it what it is. Name aside, that's what he is, and that's the fact.
It is I'll agree with you on that. It is a fact that Joe is a backup quarterback, but even the Jets head coach said, I don't know why this guy is a backup quarterback. This guy could be
and that's the other part of it.
This guy could be a starter anywhere else in the league right now. I don't know what's going on.
Basically could, right?
He could be. So Joe is older. He's been away from us for a little while, but we've seen Joe at his very best. We've seen Joe at some of his worst games as a Baltimore Raven. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Ravens defense up against Joe. I'm sure there's a couple players still left that have played with Joe on the Ravens that kind of know what it's like to go up against him and his type of offense. So it's going to be a fun game to see. It's going to be fun to have Joe Flacco against the Ravens for the first time ever. I kind of want to see that pregame of him shaking hands, if they even do, with John Harbaugh or with Lamar or whoever before the game, just kind of as that pregame goes on. So it'll be interesting to see. The Jets coach was asked today, this team is very fast. The Ravens, they're very fast. They're very hard hitting. What are you going to do about that? And the Jets said, well, we're really hard hitting too. We're really fast, too. I don't think that the Jets are at the same level. It will be a hard-fought game. I don't see the Ravens getting away with this just easily. I do think it's going to be a tough one to win, but the Ravens, I do think, are going to show up. I think there's a lot of questions right now about the Ravens, and not talent-wise, because we know who's going to be back and who isn't going to be back. However, with the string of injuries this Ravens team has had in the last year, the only thing I'm worried about with all these guys is where are they going to be in their recovery? Because we know a lot of them are better, but are they pre-injury form? We're not going to know until this game starts how good or Marcus Peters or Marlon Humphrey have lost a step. We don't know what's going on with J.K. Dobbins at this moment. Ronnie Stanley just came back to practicing this week. So there's a lot of guys. Nick Boyle, even think about Nick Boyle, who last year did not look like himself. Tyus Bowser, we're not going to see this week. So there's a lot of question marks on this team. I think this is a great starting game for the Ravens to get back into the NFL regular season. I think this is a team that will kind of give them fits, but I do think this is a good test to see where these guys stand coming back from all these different injuries.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you touched on a lot of great things there. There is a lot of questions surrounding, Ronnie Stanley right now should be ready for week 1, which is fantastic, right? But there's other questions. J.K. Dobbins, we already know, Gus Edwards is on the pup list. Right now, you're going to probably see, heavy dose of Mike Davis and Kenyon Drake in the running game, which was, crazy to think when we knew we were probably going to get Gus and J.K. back, for this year. And it was like, dude, these guys hurt 14 months ago and it's still not ready. Like, and I'm no doctor. I don't know what it takes to rehab these things. And, we wish these guys the best to get on the field, but I'm as shocked as anybody not to see at least JK out there. I guess can't control it, right? But you got to trust the guys in the running game. They're going to get it done, and it's going to be Mike Davis, Kenyon Drake, and Justice Hill. Going to heavy dose of that. And, you hope number 8 ain't running it, but if he has to, you got Lamar's running ability too, but we would hope he keeps that to a minimal, as we know, for his position's sake. It's going to be a good scheme. I think, the Ravens screen running attack, right? That's their MO. They're not a balanced attack. They're run first. They have, I think, the most rushing yards since Lamar's entered the league in 18. I think the Titans are second best because they got Henry, but, the Ravens as a team, collectively, I think they lead the NFL in the last 3 years rushing total, especially in Lamar's MVP season. I felt like they just ran all over the place. So, I think they're going to be a run first heavy attack, and then setting up the passes. I think the Ravens are going to attack the Jets defense. And not only that, but, we got a former Raven under center for Joe Flacco, but I think because the last time he was hurt, I think CJ Mosley finally gets to play the Ravens. I think the last time the Ravens just squared off when Mosley was on the Jets, he was actually hurt that year, didn't play. So we get to see CJ Mosley under center for not under center, Joe Flacco under center for the Jets, and then CJ Mosley in the linebacking core for the Jets on defense. So 2 former Ravens in the fold. The Jets, I mean, hey, they're running out a rookie running back in Breece Hall. They got Joe Flacco, so it's going to be interesting to see, what the Jet scheme is. But they got receivers. They got Corey Davis. They got Elijah Moore, who's coming into his own, and new addition, former Bengal, CJ Uzomah. So you have to remember they still got formidable players there. It's week 1, right? Still paying respects to respects due. No, everybody's 0-0, including the Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody. No one knows what we're going to get in week 1. I mean, you never know. I'm not saying, are you predicting the Jets to beat the Ravens? Absolutely not. But I'm not predicting this to be a cakewalk either. This isn't, rookie quarterback. We're going to go up there in New York and wax them 40-7. It'd be great if they do that against Joe. Great, the established dominance. But I still feel like the Ravens can get this done on a multiple score facet, a multiple score agenda on the. I just think it'll get done. Ravens are going to easily win this, probably 27-10, maybe 30-13, something around that score is what I'm predicting. At least a 2 touchdown victory for the Ravens. I'm not saying they're going to sleepwalk through the game, but I think plays are going to be made. I think the Ravens know what's in front of them. This is a game that you got to come out 1-0. No team wants to start 0-1, right? But the Ravens, given their schedule, they play at AFC West or AFC East. AFC East right out of the gate in the first 4 games. And, I had them at 3-1, obviously losing the Bills at home in week 3, but we can break that down game by game. I have them going 12-5 collectively in the season. So I figured, in the first quarter of the year, if they can run through this specific division at 3-1, heading into our first divisional game against the Bengals at home in week 5, I think it'll put us in a prime spot. But can't worry about what the Steelers are doing. Can't worry about what the Browns are doing. Can't definitely worry about what the Bengals are doing. Ravens got to take care of business. Right now, it's the New York Jets, and it's a beatable opponent, and they can certainly take care. But, again, there's no slots of talent. They're all NFL caliber players. They got Quentin Williams on the defensive line over there in New York. So, and you got Coach Saleh coaching him up. He got hired for the reason, and they're going to give us everything he got. And the Ravens better be ready. I do not want to come out in this first quarter and we be 7-3, 10-3 or 10-7 trailing in the first quarter because the Ravens didn't get off the plane or the bus or wherever they decided to take or train. They got to come out and establish the run, establish the defensive dominance, get them 3 and out, be aggressive early, and establish the game plan. So, but I see no short of a Ravens victory here. It is going to be fun, man. Me being present there to see Joe Flacco play former team. Get to see Joe in action once more. Probably my only last time until he retires, unless something crazy else happens in the NFL. But yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait to share the experience, break it all down, and be live on location.
Now, what do you think this means for Lamar Jackson to start this? Now, think about it. We haven't seen Lamar play football since what? Was it early December last year? Late November, something like that, when he got hurt. He missed the last 6 games.
Yeah, he did.
So this is gonna be Lamar's first game, no preseason whatsoever. Do you think this long layoff that he has had from being on the field is going to affect his game? Is there going to be any real-time rust that Lamar is going to have to shake off? I mean, he has been practicing. He was there for training camp. I'm not saying he's like slacked off or whatever, but nothing really beats that real game experience. He had no preseason this year. So do you think that's going to affect his game in any way?
For sure. Absolutely. It's easy for me to speak, obviously never playing it down in the NFL, never coaching it, but just seeing these guys from what my vantage point is, I think it certainly does. You're not playing game speed, running offenses, in a simulated form, whether it is preseason football or not, since mid to late last year, almost a full calendar year, it's called 10 months. But he's been in shape. He put on muscle. He's been working out. We've seen him in training camp. The coaches have commented on it. We've seen the interviews. We've seen the footage. We hear the breakdowns from the beat writers that are there and the media that covered the team. So we have hope. And I wouldn't be hard-pressed to think that the Ravens, if they thought he wasn't going to be ready and needed the practice to get on the field, they would throw him out because then I called it out preseason. Patrick Mahomes was playing in games with Travis Kelce in the first series in preseason games. So obviously they needed work. Lamar didn't. So the Ravens, I'm not saying that, Lamar's better than Mahomes because apparently the Ravens thought Lamar didn't need work, but Mahomes did. So Andy Reid thinks that Mahomes needs work. No, that was each coach's decision and that personnel's decision, that whole coaching staff, that team's decision. The Ravens feel comfortable enough in what they know and seen of Lamar that's saying, hey, we know you haven't played an actual live NFL down since mid to late last year. We're comfortable with that. So they have full confidence in Lamar's abilities. We have to trust that. I wouldn't be hard pressed to believe that the Ravens had any reservations that he'd be out there in preseason for a series or two. But I think too, the Ravens are being gun shy because what happened last year? You threw J.K. Dobbins in a meaningless game. He gets hurt out for the year, and then all the fans will be like, why are you playing your starters in the preseason? This is why you don't do that. So it's like, but now and then, here's the other thing. Like you brought up, and I'm not saying you're complaining, you're bringing up a valid question and topic of discussion, but then the other thing is fans could do the same thing. Why ain't Lamar out there in these practice? Well, you were just complaining last year. Why is J.K. in the game? He got hurt. So pick one. You're either going to not play him or you are. And there's a risk of injury. There's a risk there. So I'd rather have the player maybe sort. Do you want that rusty player or do you want the risk of Lamar playing the Titans at a home preseason game and he could go down and then the season's over? Then now what? Now you're not going to pay him that. So
right.
Again, no matter what you decide to do, it's going to be a wrong thing. I always feel like, so it's, it's the same thing going for it. Oh, if you got it, it's the greatest call ever. If you don't get it, you should have kicked field goal like last year. Same thing. You live and die by the decisions you make. And I feel like the Ravens are making the right one. We have to trust it. I like to see him out there because I like to see what he looks like, but we're going to get that week 1 when he's under center. I felt like when it was heading into the 2019 playoffs, when they got first seed, I thought that time off hurt them because remember Lamar sat in the last game. They still won it. Then they had the bye weeks. It was 3 full weeks off. Then they go out and got stomped with the Titans because the Titans had the momentum. They beat the Patriots, went up there, New England, handed Tom Brady his loss and his last loss as a Patriot in playoffs. And that was the last time I saw Tom in a Patriots uniform until he moved Bucks. So, and they had every right to feel confident. They come in here 1 seed and took down the juggernaut. But it was the Ravens that year, 1-12 straight going in. So, for sure it hurt, but that was a different time, different circumstance. But Oh no, I would like to see him out there, but it's not my call. I would have done the same thing maybe with like Mahomes. What the Chiefs did is run them out there for a series, see how they look, but be extra careful on the plays you call maybe, and don't and maybe protect them better and have everybody rise up to the occasion. But but then again, maybe they made the safe bet, and the best decision is to keep everybody sidelined. Including the defensive stars. Marlon Humphrey didn't play, Marcus Peters didn't play. All these guys didn't play. I don't think any starter touched the field if my memory serves correctly. I mean, if some, I think Tucker was out there kicking field goals, but that's about it. But I couldn't, for the life of me, remember. I think I seen a couple starters sprinkled in here and there, but it was for like a few plays. But for all in all, the Ravens are entering week one relatively healthy, as healthy as they can be right now. And I'm excited about that. And we're getting Ryan Stanley back, hopefully, in this week. So that'll be a bolster to the offensive line. The timetable is week one. The time and place that we're recording this right now, that's the goal. Until we hear otherwise, I expect Ryan Stanley to suit up on the line for the Ravens. But unless they come out on game day or closer to the weekend and put him as doubtful or out, but I right now it don't look like Dobbins will play. It looks like Dobbins won't play, but Stanley will. But let's see what happens officially, and obviously stay tuned because the call social medias for that. Because we'll be posting it as soon as we know and the Ravens put it out, we'll throw it out there for everybody.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens. I do want to figure out what this lineup's going to be. But, yeah, Lamar, I'm very intrigued to see what he does on the field because that extra muscle that he did put on, I think that is to kind of help his durability as the quarterback. So if he does get hit, it doesn't hurt him as much. It won't take him out like it did last year. So he kind of did bulk up. But when you do bulk up like that, what does that mean for his running game? Is it going to be, a little bit, is he as fast as he could be because he is a little bit bigger now? I don't know. I think only time will tell, and week one's going to tell us that. I do agree keeping him out of the preseason makes a whole lot of sense after the preseason than we had last year. But we want him to also get reps with Rashad Bateman and Isaiah Likely and those players that he doesn't really know that well on the field yet. But like I said, I think this is a good week one opponent for this Baltimore Ravens team. I think if I have these thoughts, I'm sure some of the players have these thoughts as well. And I think this could really be a motivation and like a confidence booster for a lot of these players to go there and maybe dominate this team as much as they can and to show like, oh, I still got it. So I'm very excited for Sunday's game. I know these players are too. I know you are. It's gonna the city's a little electric right now.
You think? Hey,
go ahead.
I wanted to bring up something pretty funny. Adam Schefter obviously reported on the Lamar thing. Said obviously he told reporters that deadline was Friday. RG3 responded with the best line ever. Okay. I mean, who doesn't want to get paid on a Friday?
That's true.
Great one, RG3. Great one. Yeah, who doesn't like get paid on Friday? I don't get paid on Fridays. I get paid bi-monthly, so it's never on a Friday. But that's just me. But yeah, you're right. Who doesn't like get paid any day of the week that ends in a Y? Like payday, and hopefully it's a payday for Lamar. Wanted to bring up something. Wanted to ask you. So we were together this past weekend for AEW, which was a great event, by the way. Thank you for you and Veronica hosting that. It was great. Always good to get together with you and your friends and watch some wrestling. This was a great event.
Always a blast.
But it caused me to think about something I want to talk about during the podcast. So in light of wrestling, and obviously with, we were talking earlier about, Joe Flacco coming out tunnel and cheering and booing and all that, and missing the great Ray Lewis's entrance. That was probably the grandest entrance of all time in NFL sake. I want to ask you, so if you were a wrestler, what theme music would you pick? What is your go-to number one song that you're coming out to? I wanted to ask you that. Because obviously Ray had the Nelly theme and all that, Hot in Here, and he came out to a squirrel dance. So, like, Ray had his song. What is your song coming out of the tunnel or backstage of a wrestling event? If you're coming out of a sporting event, let's call it, what is your go-to song that you're coming out to?
Oh, man, let me I'm looking at my
and songs had I Can't by 50 Cent. So some of the high-profile Ravens had certain songs that they came out to, so which is pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm looking through my workout songs right now. Let's see what I can pick. The Man by the Killers is a really good one. I really like. Daylight, Blue October. That's a solid one.
No Coldplay. Look, you're about to throw up on air. You're like, Coldplay. We should make a wager. that like just some like for the season, like if we're close on our predictions or something, like the losers got to like do something. I was like me, I would like make you have to. I would have to make you listen to Coldplay somehow, like
Ugh.
a whole yeah. That
The
would have been funny.
The House That Heaven Built by the Japan Droids is actually a really good song. If I'm going
The
like by
Japan Droids, never
the,
heard of that.
oh, it's a great song. I'll send you that song right now. But
Okay.
my favorite wrestler theme right now, like if I had to pick somebody who's already out there, is Hook's theme, by the song by Action Bronson. That song is awesome. I absolutely love that song. Like if I had to pick a wrestler's theme that's already out there, I'd go with that one.
I'm going to do both. I'm going to do that and then pick my own. So if I had to go for a wrestler's theme that's already out there, you have to do Triple H's The Game with Motorhead. I
That's a
mean,
good
isn't
one.
there one more iconic than that?
Yeah.
I mean, The Rock's pretty good. If you smell, everybody knows that, right? Roman Reigns is pretty cool with the new tribal theme. Love that. I play that on game days too. I love that entrance. But I thought personally the Ravens should come out to Roman Reigns' new entrance.
Yeah.
I thought that would be really, really cool. But the song I'm picking is I just got the Japan Droids from Brandon. I have to play this one.
It's a good song. It's a solid song.
I'm going to listen to it right now. I want to get my live raw reaction to this. But like, let's see what this new music he's got here before I share mine. Okay, I'm digging it. Reminds me of like driving on like Ocean Avenue, like
okay.
with the top down, summertime. I can dig that. Yeah, it's got that like summertime vibe feel.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. I like that. But my song would be "What If" by Creed.
Oh, from the Scream 3 soundtrack.
Yes.
Okay.
I was listening to XM radio and they played that song, and I'm like, Creed. People make fun of my time. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Love Scott Stapp. Always have. Always. I love their sound. And I tweeted this out earlier this week. I was like, I saw Rage Against the Machine this year. They came back after being broken up. I saw Limp Bizkit this year, which always been on bucket list. And I was like, you got to do Creed. I was like, third one would be let's get Creed back together. Let's do it. So Creed would have been up there. So What If's got that? It's that one of their hardest songs. It just screams. I would definitely do the What If. Like I just love that, and that would be my theme coming out with some like hazy smoke and a light show. I would definitely come out to that. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be my song choice. So I would like to hear everybody else's song choice out there. Throw us out a note, Twitter, Facebook, social medias. I'm gonna even put a poll out there. What you guys think on the we'll do that. I'll put a poll out there. I think you can do that when the call Facebook, create a poll kind of deal. So I'm gonna throw it out there. Question of the week, and I'm gonna do that out there. I might start a new segment, question of the week, and then be like, let's do that coming off from the podcast, and then put out to you guys a poll question. Like I think we did the first unofficial one was blue cheese or ranch. I think we had everybody going back and forth on that one. And me and Brandon are at different ends of the spectrum on that, but we will agree. In the middle of that spectrum, there's a wing, and we really love wings. Just two different toppings on them, where it comes to sauce. But this is okay. I like that. We can't be the same all the time, right? But that's pretty cool. So pretty much, what if Lamar gets paid? What if he don't? Doesn't matter. He's going to be under center for the team, and that's that. Whether we like it or not. I mean, be honest with you, I talked this about my buddy the other day. It is exhausting. Everybody come in contact with, what's up with your boys Lamar's contract? What do you think is going to happen? And I'm like, I'm getting sick of talking about it. I'm sure the coaches are. I'm pretty sure Lamar is. And then I'm thinking like, well, if y'all are sick of it, why don't you get a deal done, guys? But I don't know. But I'm ready for him to get his due, and we'll see what happens. But Friday, it's going to be the countdown to the first week. I mean, it's already been Purple Friday since the season started officially for the preseason, but for all those who don't do that, it officially starts Friday for the first week one Purple Friday of the season. It all comes down to this. There's no meaningless football games. They're playing a meaningful one on Sunday, week one of the NFL, and I can't wait to get it done, brother. I can't wait to get it done.
So I think that we're both saying that the Ravens are going to go up to New York, and we're both saying they're going to get a win. I think you said 27-10 was your prediction, right?
Yeah, I threw out two scores. I said like 27-10, 30-13. I think it's going to be around that sweet spot. I think the Ravens could easily do 25 to 30 points easily. Yeah. I'll stick with my first one, 27-10, to see how it is.
Yeah, I think 27-10 sounds good. I can agree with that one. I definitely see the Ravens coming back to Baltimore with a W. Anything else we should cover here in Ravens world?
Think we got it, brother. Quote the Raven, never mo.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to continue the conversation with Josh or I, you can. It's real easy. All you have to do is tweet to either one of us. You can tweet to me at Brando Cash. Josh, where can people tweet to you at?
Always Italian GQ52.
And hey, might as well, let's talk about it now. Let's bring it up. We are putting the final touches on something.
Breaking news. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Josh and I have been working really hard on this for the last couple months. We had our first meeting on my birthday in July, so that's how long we've been working on this. We are officially on Discord. So if you guys are Discord users, we are putting the finishing touches on our server, and we're going to be putting that out into the world. So make sure you check us out on Twitter and on Facebook to get the link to our Discord server, and you can join us there. We're going to be putting up some premium content that you guys are going to be able to listen to. So if you enjoy listening to our podcast, you're going to get even more content from us over on Discord. So we are joining Discord. We have been working on it. It is slowly coming along, but it seems as if we are about to put like the finishing touches. The bow's about to go on top. So we are so excited to release that for you guys, but it is coming. Discord and the call right down the road.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. Something new. Again, this is new for me and Brandon. So we were just introduced to Discord this year for the very first time, like fully, like seeing its full capabilities. I heard of Discord through my friends who game. That's how I got introduced to Twitch, and that streaming service was I watched streamers on Twitch with their video games, and some of the people that I follow, some of the games that I'm a fan of. So I would say be patient with all of us. Even though this is exciting, it's new for us. If you are a Discord user and you know a few things, me and Brandon would love your help. So, we can't do this alone, but we're trying to roll something out for everybody, make it, not only user-friendly, but kind of all in one place. We're going to have premium content and more details on that. We like to roll this out at some point this year is our goal, obviously for 2022. I felt like we didn't want to shelve it for another year. I think we were absolutely ready. But again, be patient with us. Might be working out some kinks here as we go along. Might be some bumps along the way. But again, we're all brand new at this. And we're certainly excited to introduce a new channel on the call. So you can always follow us, interact with us. And we kind of want to create more interaction with everybody. We're always so busy, right? And there's, we do the social medias and we love doing that. Not saying we don't, but I think this will be a lot of fun for everybody and some of the capable features that allows us to do.
Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned to Facebook and Twitter. We're going to release our server address and everything like that coming up this week, and that premium content you guys are going to be a part of. So we are really excited about all that. So this is really cool. If you haven't checked out Discord before, we hadn't, like Josh said earlier, and we've been digging it. It's been really interesting to figure all this kind of stuff out, and we all love the Ravens. We want to talk about the Ravens, and this is going to be a great way to do it. All right, so we got a little over a minute and a half left on our Zoom call here. We do this show for free. Talk about good pricing. We do this show for free. You listen, stream, and download for free on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Music, rate us over on Spotify, let people know on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Pinterest and Instagram and Reddit and Snapchat and Twitch and TikTok and Discord. Anywhere you listen to the Call podcast, say, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I listen to the Call, and you should too. So that is pretty much it for the show this week. We got the Jets coming up on Sunday. Ravens, they're going to go do their thing. Josh, take us out the way you always do.
Brandon, man, thank you so very much. And wow, what a jam-packed show, action-packed, and I can't get to get up to New York, enjoy it with our flock and the fans. Root hard. It's good to see Joe Flacco in action, but better yet, see the purple and black in action, which is our Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to bring back a dub for everybody. How's that sound? I can't wait to do it and break it all down with you on the call, as only we do it here at the Call style. And with that being said, Ravens Jets up in MetLife in New York, New Jersey, right across the street from the city of the Big Apple. Baltimore Ravens, how about it? Week 1. Let's ground those Jets and let's fly high.
This has been a production of Brando Cash Entertainment. Music by Brad Lepore and Daniel Kelly from the DBK Studio. For more information, go to brandocash.com.